The death of Alfred Pennyworth, Bruce Wayne's loyal butler and surrogate father, in Tom King's Batman No. 77, 2019, was one of the most shocking moments in Batman's history. It marked the loss of one of the most vital pillars of the Dark Knight's life. While controversial, Alfred's death served as a powerful narrative tool that reshaped the Batman mythos and pushed the character into uncharted emotional territory. The death of Alfred, context and impact. 1. How it happened. Alfred was executed by Bane during the City of Bane storyline. This event was part of a larger narrative where Bane took over Gotham City, with the intention of breaking Bruce Wayne not just physically, but emotionally. Key moment: Bane brutally snaps Alfred's neck in front of Robin, Damian Wayne, making the loss even more personal and traumatic for the Bat family. 2. Why it worked. Alfred's death wasn't just a shock for shock's sake. It served a deeper purpose in the story. Emotional stakes. Batman's resilience is legendary, but Alfred's death struck at the heart of his humanity. It forced Bruce to confront his failures and the cost of his war on crime. Narrative weight. The death wasn't quickly undone, as is often the case in comics. Instead, it lingered, creating ripples across Batman's world that continue to affect his relationships, strategies, and psyche. Why killing Alfred was a bold and necessary decision. 1. Breaking the status quo. Alfred has been a constant in Batman's life since his debut in 1943. Killing him was a seismic shift in the Batman mythos, one that fundamentally altered the dynamic of Bruce Wayne's world. Without Alfred's guidance, Bruce was left rudderless, more isolated than ever. Analysis. Batman's journey has often revolved around loss: his parents, Jason Todd, and countless allies. Alfred's death was the ultimate escalation of this theme, stripping Bruce of his moral compass and emotional anchor. 2. Humanizing Batman. Alfred was more than a butler, he was Bruce's last connection to his humanity. His death forced Bruce to re-examine his mission, his methods, and his relationships. Analysis. Without Alfred's unwavering support, Bruce becomes more vulnerable, both emotionally and physically. This vulnerability makes him more relatable, reminding readers that even the most indomitable heroes need support systems. 3. Impact on the Bat family. Fractured relationships. Alfred's death deepened rifts within the Bat family. Damian felt guilt for inadvertently causing Alfred's death, while Bruce's grief and obsession pushed him further away from his allies. Analysis. This tension brought realism to the family dynamic, showing that even superheroes struggle with grief and blame. The absence of Alfred, often the mediator, exacerbated these conflicts. 4. Legacy and growth. Alfred's death forced Bruce to evolve. Without Alfred to patch him up after battles or offer sage advice, Bruce had to learn to rely more on his team and confront his emotional shortcomings. Key symbolism. Alfred's death serves as a metaphor for Bruce stepping out of his comfort zone and facing the consequences of his actions. How Alfred's death reinforced key themes in Batman's mythos. 1. Loss and grief. Batman's entire existence is built on the loss of his parents. Alfred's death reopens that wound, forcing Bruce to relieve the pain of losing a loved one. However, unlike his parents, Alfred chose to stay and support Bruce, making his death even more poignant. Analysis. The death reiterates that Bruce's crusade against crime comes at a personal cost, and even the closest bonds can't escape the consequences of his mission. 2. Legacy of sacrifice. Alfred's death highlights the theme of sacrifice. He devoted his life to Bruce, and in the end, he sacrificed it for the mission. Analysis. This reinforces Batman's responsibility, not just to Gotham, but to the people who believe in him. Alfred's loss reminds Bruce that his actions have consequences for those he loves. 3. The struggle against isolation. Batman is often portrayed as a lone figure, but Alfred's presence always grounded him. With Alfred gone, Bruce's isolation becomes more profound, amplifying his struggles with loneliness and detachment. Analysis: this isolation forces Bruce to reconsider his relationships, especially with his allies, and highlights the importance of connection even for a solitary hero. Criticism and rebuttals. Criticism: killing Alfred was seen by some as unnecessary and cruel, removing one of the few warm, human elements from Batman's world. Rebuttal: while Alfred's death is painful, it enriches the story by forcing growth and evolution in Bruce's character. Heroes are defined by their ability to endure and adapt, and Alfred's death challenges Bruce in profound ways. Criticism: longtime fans argued that Alfred's death broke the dynamic that made Batman's stories compelling. Criticism: longtime fans argued that Alfred's death broke the dynamic that made Batman's stories compelling. Rebuttal: breaking the dynamic was the point. Alfred's absence creates a void that allows other characters, such as Lucius Fox, to step into new roles, and it shifts the tone of the Bat-family's interactions. Long-term effects on the mythos. 1. Bruce's leadership. Without Alfred to rely on, Bruce has been forced to become more self-reliant and introspective. He's had to balance his grief with the need to carry on, showing a more vulnerable side to the character. 2. New roles for supporting characters. Lucius Fox has taken on a larger role in supporting Bruce logistically, while the Bat-family has had to step up emotionally. Damian's guilt over Alfred's death has driven his character development, leading him to question his place in the family and his father's mission. 3. Symbolic evolution. Alfred's death is a turning point in Batman's journey. It signals a shift from the traditional Batman stories into a new era where the stakes are higher and the losses more personal. Conclusion: why it was the right decision. The death of Alfred Pennyworth was a bold, transformative moment in the Batman mythos. It forced Bruce Wayne to confront his vulnerabilities, deepen the emotional complexity of the Bat-family, and redefined the stakes of his mission. While controversial, it ultimately served to propel Batman into a more introspective, human direction, proving that even the world's greatest detective can't always save the ones he loves. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel to get more content. Okay guys, thank you for watching and see you in the next one.